hello, everybody. It is us, the brothers of discussion, the beautiful, wonderful, fine fellow hosts of this evening on another riveting episode of Post to Post, the wrestling podcast. It is I, Grayson, accompanied by my brother Will. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. Just, classic summer mood. Parked outside in the middle of town, sitting here in the car with the AC, so that way I have cell phone signal since the family home is out in the cut. It just doesn't jive.
Yes. Now I just talking like I'm William Shatner. Awkward pauses in between words and phrases from my mouth.
Very Shatner of you. Good work. Good work. Now,
thank you.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You're very welcome.
So, what do you want to talk about? Where do you want to go?
Well, I guess since last week we had Chapel on here, and he was giving us the rundown of all his good stuff and good times, I think we might as well start with the events of last week that involved our boys and the Polar and Chapel's local live show.
Oh, so that's what you want to start with. You don't even want to start with AEW. You don't want to start with WWE. You don't want to save the best for last. You want to just start strong.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Fair enough. But, yeah, so last weekend was the recording of Game-A-Gettin' 1, or as I personally refer to it, Game-A-Gettin' 1 Redo. That's DEAUX for anyone wanting to know.
Redux.
Redo. Kind of like Hot Shots now.
Yeah.
Hot Shots Part 2. The best.
That's great.
It's so good. But
I still, the part that always sticks out in my mind is when he starts blowing his nose in the handkerchief and it just becomes like this fucking giant mess.
Yep.
I don't know why, but that part has stuck with me since I was like 6.
I'm trying to think of the quote from the one guy about the violence where he just turns and looks at the camera, and it's the riff of that old commercial. I just can't think of the quote right now.
Yeah, I can't.
It's that or the love interest doing the naked swan dive into the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those are the things that I remember most.
Yeah, just remember the chicken.
Oh yeah.
I remember the fencing and the fencing against, I think it was Saddam Hussein, and then Saddam Hussein, I think, gets genetically mutated and has a dog face.
No, he Terminator 2s.
That's it. Okay.
He melts
I couldn't remember which. I just remember something happened, and then he has like a dog face.
Yeah, it's around the same time that we realized that the president's had his skin replaced with asbestos because he's fireproof.
Yes.
It's amazing. Great movies. And they're the height of comedy. And I think, I don't want to segue away, but it just feels like such a good way to transition into the sheer hilarity that was 95% of the live event last weekend.
Oh my god. Dude, it hurt my heart watching half of that shit. Now let's go and get this out of the way. All of the people that we talked to who were part of the event, in passing,
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was extremely nice. They all had fun. I mean, it was hot as balls, and they were miserable out there doing their thing, but everyone was really nice and fun, and don't expect to see them on AEW Dark anytime soon.
No joke, man. A lot of them, if anyone that listened last week remembers Chapel talking about $5 wrestling. and Lil Donnie and
Jeff Hart.
Yeah. So those two right there were in the second match of the day. And when Chappell says that they wrestle like dog shit, he wasn't lying. Oh my god.
Exactly. Like, I honestly was wanting to give it the benefit of the doubt based on what, Chappell was saying. But nope, that was a mistake on my part. That was a mistake on my part. It was 100% fact. And it rekindled my love for WWE in a way. Like, I hate this more.
It was a rough one. It was indeed. And, we made it through. All those guys, you can tell that they love what they do.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, I've never seen more people in that first majority of the show in worse shape than Eddie Kingston in my life.
Hey, no, Eddie Kingston can work.
You're right. I shouldn't.
But yeah, I agree. But also, the weather did need to be taken into consideration. It was on the asphalt, 90+ degrees, pure sun.
And I will give it to the one dude in the first triple threat match who took that bump, and he rolled a little too hard and fell face fucking first on the pavement.
Oh yeah, and he fucking got a good mouse on his forehead, his eyebrow, right under his eye, and his ear. He hit hard. He hit hard.
He took a minute, checked, then he rolled back in the ring, kept trucking. But fuck, it was to use a Jim Cornette term, it was a straight up mud show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There was no fucking padding outside the ring. It was straight drop to rough-ass old shopping center concrete. He ate shit, but he kept going, and kudos to that. That right there is enough. I was like, it was a free show working on donations, so I highly doubt any of them made any money. It was just something they did because they know the people and they will work with them on the regular. So they did it out of the goodness of their hearts, and so I'm not going to fault them at all for that. I'm going to fault the quality of their wrestling, but not the love in their heart for the business.
Yep.
But to bring it through, once you made it through the majority of the matches, I'm still sad we missed that kind of over-the-top rope, weird micro battle royal thing.
Yes.
Towards the end. I am. But the only, the best matches of the night, or evening, afternoon, whatever you want to call it, were probably the last three.
I can agree.
Yeah. Far and away the best one, and, we can't say we're a little biased because Chappell's our boy, but legit, Chappell and the dude he was working with, Prime, they gelled and they could actually work quite well. And all their spots looked pretty damn smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were a couple missteps here and there. And we talked to Chappell about that, after the show. And he's like, yeah, those are the ones. And he was like, little behind the scenes talk, he was like, it was so fucking hot. We did so many rest holds without doing actual holds because we didn't want to be all up on each other in the heat.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't blame them at all, dude.
No.
I was telling you, while we were watching, I'm like, I'm miserable right now. It's like, I want to go buy an umbrella.
We stewed for a solid 2.5 hours.
Yep.
Stewing in sweat. It was an awful heat wave. But in terms of an enjoyable afternoon, I enjoyed it. It was, part of me was like, it was so bad it was good, almost like Trauma, but then at the same time I was like, was it?
Yeah,
Or was it like so bad it's like Ed Wood good?
Yeah. I would say it's Surf Nazis Must Die level.
Surf Nazis Must Die. Okay. I'll work with that. Anyone that hasn't seen that, Jim, that's another Trauma classic. Surf Nazis Must Die. It's an affront to film, but it's an enjoyable schlock romp.
It's enjoyable, but you feel like it's a chore to watch.
Yes.
And that's why I think it works, because that was a chore to watch, but when you look back, you're like, yeah, I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. I did too. And for sure, Chaplain Prime definitely landed some really nice looking spots.
Yes.
Like,
the belly to belly.
Mm-hmm. I think there was like the belly to back. There's the belly to belly. I think there was a good belly to back. Nice regular suplex. There was the power slam, the fireman's carry drop.
The talking shit, Chapel's wife.
The talking shit to Chapel's wife. And he didn't know if he was. Chapel rolled up to him in the ring. He's like, "You were just talking shit to my wife. That's fucking great."
Here we go. Here we go.
It was beautiful. It really was. And, you know, as bad as it is, like Grayson and myself not being wrestlers at all, we looked at it and we're like, damn, we could out wrestle half the people that perform. But would we?
No.
Nah, probably not.
Absolutely not. It's way too fucking hot.
Yeah,
but you know, no training whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd be able to do a little bit more than a couple of them.
Yeah. Now, I will say the one run-in that worked out real well, where they called in Chapel's buddy from back in the day, Stryker, in there. That worked out quite well, because he threw a damn fine rope-a-dope.
Oh yeah, that's for sure he did.
Yeah.
And he was just a nice guy when we talked to him. I enjoyed talking to him for the little bit that we did.
Mm-hmm. He knew how to work the rope-a-dope. He made those punches look like they worked. And, you know, the guy with him, that he ran in on, not the best in ring, but he sold those punches.
Oh man, needs to be like Mick Foley and get some fake front teeth or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He needs to get the retainer with fake teeth.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to take the dude serious.
I mean, there's a chance he may have those, and he just doesn't wear them in the ring.
Could be.
But I don't know. But either way, from there we went over to the Polar headquarters. I'll call it the Polar Palace, just for duration. And we played a shitload of video games, drank a lot of beer, and ate a lot of pizza.
Hell yeah.
And I won't give away anything to spoil it, but damn, we did good WrestleFest.
It was it's true. It was overall, it was a very competitive event. Like,
competitive as fuck. And we are excited because when that shows up, we're going to try and post a video episode on our page, and then they'll post one on theirs as well. So that way, if you don't follow them, which you should be, you'll still be able to get it from us.
yes.
But that will be coming sometime soon. Since we're 100% DIY, it may take a little bit, but we'll get it to you as soon as possible. All right. So with last week's fun time independent stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and move over to the pros. Well, let's start with the house that Vince built, the place that seems to be doing the most firing of anything I've seen in a while, WWE. Because just last Friday, after our not long after we posted our newest episode, WWE went through quite a large number of releases again. Quite a few. Let me go ahead and just go over a few really quickly. WWE released a writer of theirs who finally admitted that they didn't watch pro wrestling.
Good.
Yes, I thought the same thing. I was like, it's about time. Apparently, WWE got heat for that.
And as they should. You know, I mean, it just kind of gives you a level. It's like this person, A, doesn't watch it. B, obviously isn't trying to learn the business, but they're trying to write for it. So they literally do not get it. And that's who's writing the show. Or assisting in the process.
Mm-hmm.
That's just... It's fucking dumb.
It doesn't make a lot of sense to put someone in like a major creative position of a writer and then not even watch the product to learn kind of how you write for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going to do that, you need to go back and watch some of the old shit. I'm not going to say watch too much of Vince Russo era, like Attitude WWE, because Russo's a fucking hack.
Yes.
For every he did well, there's another on a pole match to discount it. So, if you were to go back and watch NWA, some early Mid-Atlantic, older WWF stuff, I'll say WWF because that puts more of a date on it. Transition it in. Skip over the new generation. Skip over that era. That's a sad time for WWF. Pick up again with the in the new era, transition into the Attitude Era, and you'll start seeing the writing get better and better. When you hit the Attitude Era, it starts getting more improv and less written, but there's still a lot of like major story angles written, but the wrestlers at that time, it was a lot more off the cuff shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
We can't say too much, but right around there and some of that old shit, great to learn from. You could do a little bit of WCW from that era, but I mean, we all know the history. They were shitting the bed on writing. I mean, they would legit like rip up entire scripts and change cards 30 minutes before the show started.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't say too much about that. But if you get before that super bad era of mismanagement, then you should find some gems. But they need to watch some of the classical stuff to really get an idea for the writing. It should be, you know, a prerequisite for the job. 100%. But to continue on with the releases, we got Tony Nese and Araya Daivari. They've been cut loose. Ever Rise has been cut loose. Fandango and Tyler Breeze are gone, so Breezango is no more. August Gray was cut loose. Lillian Dane, Marina Shafir, the Singh brothers, Kurt Stallion and Arturo Ruiz, and Tino Sabatelli. That's the big list that I have right now. I feel like I'm missing someone, but that's what I have. Let me see what this one was.
And also, I'm just going to say, you know, if anyone kind of didn't recognize some of those names, a lot of those names are from 205 Live. And you know, they're sort of the highest paid of the people from it.
Yeah.
And that's where this idea of cost cutting comes in. Because Hulu does pay fairly good amount in rights fees to have 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
So those those right fees, them cutting costs, it's natural that they would cut some of the higher paid people from that just to keep Hulu happy that 205 Live survives and they keep making that money.
Yeah. but
also cut the cost of those expensive wrestlers who aren't really used anywhere else. So why keep them when we're not really behind it? We just have it there for Hulu.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if I were working for Hulu and part of that partnership, I'd be kind of pissed that they cut some of the talent from my show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it like Vince has hated 205 Live forever. He's never been a cruiserweight guy. Never. Like, he's just now gotten to where he can halfway tolerate average-sized people. But
halfway.
Yeah. He just shits on the light heavyweights all the fucking time. And 205 Live is, case in point. It's like almost a textbook example of how much he doesn't give a shit about, high-flying lightweight wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Vince is always where the buck stops, but, it just kind of, it's a fucking shame. Now, with those releases as well, we all know that all these guys have a 90-day no-compete, but Tyler Breeze shared a nice little Twitter or Instagram photo the other day about telling his boys, it's like, hey boys, this is how you beat a 90-day no-compete. And it's a picture of him with a black Jushin Thunder Liger mask in his hand.
Beautiful.
Are we going to see Jushin Thunder Breeze? Who knows? Or would it be Jushin Breezy Liger? Ooh, I like that one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will it be Jushin Breezy Liger? I mean, I'm sure it's more of a joke, but, I mean, I wouldn't see how that's not a loophole, personally. Because, I mean, if you're competing as a brand new character and not with your own, natural face, it almost seems like it's a way to get around some things. We've seen Mr. America. That wasn't Hulk Hogan.
That was not Hulk Hogan. Anyone who says otherwise is a liar.
Exactly.
That was Mr. fucking America.
That's right.
Just knew what a real American mustache was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Some other things. Let's dive into a couple things in the back of the house at WWE about some ideas from creative, etc. One, apparently there's a trademark on the phrase Happy Corbin.
Happy Corbin. I wonder what that means for Corbin. Is he turning face? Or is he going to be one of those weird hills that are like Bo Dallas? Bo leave. But now it's Corbin going, be happy. I feel like they're going to turn him face.
Yeah.
Make it some sort of weird-ass thing.
Yeah, whatever they do with him, unless he develops something that makes him enjoyable to watch, not gonna fucking care.
Well, I will say this. Corbin is the bona fide company man. He will take whatever they give him and try and make it work.
Yep.
And that is the main prop I will give Corbin. He has had some stinkers, but he has always tried. Yeah.
He is not one to not give it his all, but fuck, I still just can't get into him. No matter if they haven't found something yet that really worked for me. I'll say, personally, King Corbin came close because it really worked with him. But his low-rent Game of Thrones gear didn't really do it. But, additionally, Nikki Cross had her name changed recently to Nikki Ash, or Nikki ASH, which was an acronym for Nikki Almost the Superhero. Okay. So First. One, could have just called it Nikki Ash. Cool, that works. But there will always and forever only be one almost hero in the WWE. And that was Rosie the Shit.
Rosie the Shit, the superhero in training.
Exactly. Hurricane and Rosie own that shit. If you're doing it, if you're fucking doing anything like that, again, you're just shitting on their legacy. Unless you're bringing in Hurricane to help her out. If that happens, cool. If it doesn't, fucking stupid. As of right now, it's riding real high at fucking stupid, and the acronym portion of the name is dumb. I'm just going to put it out there. But the whole reason this was done is so that you don't have a ketchup-catsup situation. Karrion Kross, Nikki Cross.
Oh.
Cue the Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Excellent.
Because that's all I thought of as soon as I saw it. God forbid our road-weary favorite independent workhorse Matt Cross showed up. WWE's head would explode. 3 people with the same fucking name? I would never wish that upon him at all, other than the sheer amount of money he could get. But he deserves all of that. But I would never wish it upon him to have to work with WWE. That anecdote was solely just for the fact that these name changes are fucking asinine. No one's going to confuse Nikki Cross or Karrion Kross. Sorry. Nobody.
This is true. I know I wouldn't because, he was Killer Cross in TNA, and then Nikki Cross was Nikki Cross in Impact. Not Impact, NXT. So, I know they came from different places. I know who they are, and the most obvious thing, one is a female, one is a male.
Yep.
And they have completely different first names.
100%. And one's crossed with a K, the other's crossed with a C.
Completely different. If you want to do it, just start calling them Karrion Kross. Like a knife.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
You don't want to get Mortal Kombat?
No, let's not do that. That's as bad as that acronym. I mean, that's like Cool Whip, but worse.
Cool Whip spreads easy with a knife.
There we go. Now, let's move over to a little bit of lighthearted news. Everyone's favorite wrestling power couple, Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, finally tied the knot. So all you poor horn dogs out there, she's off the table now. But
the knot.
So, congrats to them. Long time coming, but kudos. Now they're a 100% happy family. So, another thing that came up recently, which that I've taken a small amount of umbrage with, is this WWE 50 Greatest Tag Teams list that was just released. I'm gonna bear with me, everybody. I'm gonna go through all fucking 50 because I want
God
to.
Damn it. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you guys, audience. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let me chug a beer and get ready.
All right. So I'm gonna start at the bottom. Number 50, Bushwhacker. That right there, it's fucking criminal. Butch and Luke need to be higher up.
Not saying 50. but I could see the mid-30s to low 40s.
Yeah, agreed. Number 49, Too Cool.
That one seems okay. Maybe he should actually be a little higher.
Mm-hmm. Number 48, The Quebecers. So
Who?
The Quebecers.
Oh, yeah.
That one makes kind of sense. They were, they weren't super tenured back in the 80s, so, it is what it is.
Yeah.
47, The Smoking Guns. William Bart.
I love the Smoking Guns, personally.
I did too. 46, Strike Force. 45, The Head Shrinkers. 44, Kane and X-Pac. 43, Batista and Ric Flair. 42, MNM.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Most of those right there I kind of agree with. 41, The Nasty Boys. Be higher up.
Yeah, they will. I feel like they didn't really hit their stride until WCW, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, but
but they did buy WWE, but at the same time, it was during the time where they weren't together, and I don't think they came in when they got bought, so it still makes sense. But yeah, I could see them in a low 30 position.
Yeah. Number 40, Rated RKO.
That's fair.
Yeah. 39, Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
I am fine with that. I really like that tag team, though.
Yep. 38, DIY.
I'm fine with that. It was kind of short-lived.
Yep. 37, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. 36, this one kind of hurts a little bit. Money Inc. $1 Million Man and IRS.
I'm fine with that, too.
I would have put them slightly higher. I don't think they would have broken the 20s, but just a little higher. Maybe 30 even. 35, Jericho.
I don't feel like that was long enough to really count. Maybe I'm misremembering some of the history. I don't know. I felt like that was a very short-lived thing.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't super long, but they did do a lot. 34, The Natural Disasters.
With that.
Yep. 33, The Street Profits. 32, The Briscoes. 31, Harper and Rowan. 30, British Bulldog and Owen Hart. 29, Miz and Morrison. 28, The Bar.
The Bar.
Yep. 27, Team Hell No. 26, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. 25, Los Guerreros. 24, the APA. 23, the Blackjacks.
I don't remember the Blackjacks. Was that another Bradshaw?
I think it may have been.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bradshaw, I've already mentioned the APA. They were just before that. But 22, the Shield. Oh. 21, DX, HBK, and Triple H. That version.
Oh, so the reunion version.
Yes.
Okay. Well, technically right when they started, but I feel like that means they're just trying to consider it that.
Yeah. 20, the Undisputed Era.
That's
19,
fair.
Yeah. 19, the Soul Patrol. 18, Professor Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji. That was an early one if Fuji was wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 17, the Steiner Brothers. That, to me, just slightly low. Not awful low, but I definitely would have popped up a bit higher than that.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair. They didn't really take off too hard there for a bit.
No. To me, like it would just be a matter of like just nitpicking numbers, plus or minus 2 to 3 spots tops.
Yeah.
Number 16, the Rock and Sock Connection. Number 15, the Wild Samoans. Number 14, this one surprised me a little bit. The Rockers. Jannetty and Michaels.
I'm surprised it's that high, but I mean, it did jumpstart a career and killed another one, so.
Yeah, I truly, in terms of like them being a cohesive and good tag team, I would have expected them to have been a little higher up. But from the era they came from, when it was the big boy era, and they weren't, the number they fell at makes sense.
Yeah.
13, the Mega Powers.
That makes sense. It was a pretty short-lived team.
Yep. 12, the Valiant Brothers.
I don't remember them.
It might be slightly before our time.
Yeah, that's probably true.
11, Demolition. I'm fine with that because I don't like Demolition enough to put them in the top 10. They should be, but from a personal standpoint, they can stay right there, just on the edge. All right, and now for the top 10. Number 10, the British Bulldogs. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Number 9, the Brothers of Destruction. The progenitors of our name parody, Kane and The Undertaker. Totally get that spot.
Yes.
They could be a little higher up, but no, that's fine. Top 10. Number 8, the New Age Outlaws, a.k.a. the tag team everyone thinks of when they think of DX.
Yes.
Yeah. The true DX tag team. Number 7.
The notoriety one.
Mm-hmm. Number 7, the one that I disagree with completely. I understand why it's there, but I would never put them this high up on a list. The Usos.
Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
Yeah, 100%. They should not be up.
I would say in the top 20, but in my opinion, I didn't really care about the fucking like Samoan war dance face ones. Like they were just whatever. And then I didn't really get the day one ish. I understand, the lingo and what they're doing, but it's their best character version. Let me go ahead and say that. But for me, I still don't really like it. So you went from one extreme to another extreme.
Exactly. Number 6, this one I disagree with the most. This would be probably my number 1. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
They're up there, but I can understand it just because of some of the controversies behind them, as noted in all the documentaries ever made by them.
Yep, it's true.
But in terms of just tag team notoriety and just history of being bigger than Jesus, essentially. Yes, You're right. Everyone knows who they are.
Exactly. Number 5, the Dudley Boys.
I'm fine with that. I love the Dudleys, even though Bully Ray has the reputation of being a dick.
Yep.
I don't know him personally, so I can't say anything about that.
Number 4, Edge and Christian.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Number 3, the Hart Foundation. I would move that up to at least the number 2 spot. Because it's the Hart Foundation.
This is true.
Without them, you wouldn't have some of the other tag teams, especially the next one on the list. In my opinion, you wouldn't have them without the Hart Foundation. Number 2, the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
And number 1, I would not put them this high up on the list. I would give them personally top 15, but not this high up. Number 1, due to this poll, the New Day.
Agreed.
In terms of moving merch, I guarantee you they are number 1.
For sure. For me, I would say that for me, it would probably be the Twin Towers, followed by the Hart Foundation, followed by the Hardy Boys.
Your top three?
Yeah, just because fucking Akeem, the African dream.
You love Akeem.
I love Akeem so much. I know
Oh.
they're not even close to number one, but he's number one in my heart.
Yeah. For me, I'll go through. I'll probably throw out at least 5 right now. So number 1, for sure, it's going to be the Road Warriors, the LOD. Number 2 would be the Hart Foundation for me. Number 3 would be the Hardy Boys. 4, I'd probably throw in the Dudleys. 5th would be the Bulldogs. 6th, the Steiner brothers, because I like them a lot. I'd put them up there in the top. The 7th tag team, that one's probably going to be the Headbangers.
Oh yeah, they weren't. Yeah, they didn't even list the Headbangers, did they? And they even got a comeback run.
Yeah, the Headbangers. Were they amazing in ring? No, but to me, they were fucking memorable.
Hell, you couldn't get the Headbangers or the Flying Nuns? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
The 8th one, I'd probably give it to the Brain Busters. Tully and Arn, because even when they went to WWE and WWE didn't know how to, didn't let them work the way they were supposed to, they were still just technically sound as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, look at the list again because I had a couple chosen and it blanked out on me again. Number 9, I would probably do Owen and Coco Beware.
Oh, high energy. Uncle Beware! Uncle Beware!
Yep. And then number 10, Yokozuna.
Yeah, but I know where you're going with that, but just Yokozuna.
I know. That's exactly where I'm going with. Yeah, Yokozuna.
Well, he tagged with Owen, so that's why I was like, okay, I see that. Nope, just Yokozuna. You might as well just go and put Braun Strowman and Nicholas in there too.
Yeah. They can be number 50.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, there were some great ones. I mean, honestly, if I had more time to think about it, I'd probably have a much more well thought out list, but that's just going right off the top of the dome. I mean, I would have put Sting and Luger on there because I enjoyed their tag team. Let's see, I think Kidman and Saturn tagged in WCW quite a bit, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
They worked really well together. Shit like that. But
wait, was Latino Heat on there?
Yeah.
Eddie and Chavo?
Oh, that was probably Los Guerreros.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Latino Heat might. I get them mixed. I think I get them combined because I think it was like Latino Heat, and then it just kind of took over everything.
Mm-hmm.
That just might be my terrible memory.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I get it mixed up too after a little while. I truly do. So, last thing WWE wise, as most people know from listening to the show myself, I do a lot of collecting and customizing, etc. Well, WWE's been running that crossover with Masters of the Universe for a while, the Masters of the WWE Universe, and I fucking love those figures. It's a weird, guilty pleasure. But the most recent wave finally was officially announced, and the links went up on the Walmart page. They haven't gone live yet, but let's put it this way. This is going to be a huge wave, and it's going to be a motherfucker to get a hold of any of these. I mean, it's already a bitch to get a hold of them. But fuck this wave. I hope I can get them. 1, Andre the Giant. He's not a premium price point, but he is bigger than all the other ones. what they did is they made his boots pop off, and they have him packaged like normal, but you pop his boots on when you open him up, and he stands, at least from what I looked at in the pictures, somewhere from at least a head to like half a figure taller than the rest.
That's solid. I did like the look of his figure.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, Sergeant Slaughter.
His was okay looking in my opinion. Didn't hate it or anything.
Yeah, they went the obvious route with the Man-at-Arms armor, Yeah. It makes sense. They gave him the fucking mace because, it's a nice reference to the baton he'd carry around, all that good stuff. Number 3, JYD, the Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, dude. Grab them cakes.
The only part about the Junkyard Dog figure that doesn't make any sense to me is why they gave him chest armor like Web Store, the spider-based villain. I don't understand that part unless it has something to do with his chain, his dog chain accessory with the collar claw. That might be it, but that's the only part about that figure that doesn't make sense. And then the last one, Bret Hart. And this figure is great. It's a parody of Triclops, for those who know, Masters of the Universe stuff. The dude with the 3 eyes that rotated around on the little eye bar that he had on his head. Well, Bret's has that, and it rotates. It's got like the glasses, and then I saw a skull face portion of one of them, and I don't remember what the third was because those are the only 2 I saw in the pictures. But the characterization they gave him is heel Bret Hart. So this is, like him probably around the time of the anti-America Bret Hart. But I'm pretty excited about these coming out. I'd say they'll probably go live to purchase sometime in the next couple weeks at the most, so they'll definitely be on sale this summer. But, okay, everybody, good luck finding them, because you're going to have to get up at the ass crack of dawn and get there when they open and know when the trucks show up and hope to God that you beat out all the scalpers, especially scalper employees. It's going to be a motherfucker.
I will say, for the first time in my life, I saw AEW figures that wasn't Riho on the shelf.
Oh shit, man! It's been wild. You saw the entirety of Wave 4, didn't you? Like Santana and Ortiz and everybody.
Yeah. I was gonna say it took me 4 waves of figures just to see them in store, with the exception of Riho. And Riho is there for like a month, and she was still there. Then I went to another store, and the only figure they had was Riho.
I went into one Target near me, and all they had were like 6 Rihos. And I was like, son of a bitch. I knew like her figure wasn't going to sell very well. It's honestly, her figure's doing what I expected the Brandy figure to do from Wave 1. But sadly, because Wave 1 hit at the same time as COVID, and it got short-stocked, and then also they realized they fucked up on the skin colors for like most everything. They just didn't do a good job on them. They cut the production there, so original first release Brandy is one of the rarest figures.
Mm-hmm. Whole little brand. She runs like $135 or more if you're trying to get her now. Which is fucking egregious. I don't really even like her figure.
Yeah, I remember when they were pre-ordering, I ordered the entire wave except for that figure, because I was like, I'll be able to find her. She's gonna fucking peg warm like every other woman wrestler figure. Nope.
Sexist bitch.
It's not from that angle, but tell me I'm wrong.
Well, from what I heard, some of there's going to be a couple of the first runs to show up on ringside soon.
Probably what it's going to be is 1B. They did a reissue of Wave 1 with the corrected skin tones.
Mm-hmm.
And so almost anything showing up now that's Wave 1 will be second edition Wave 1. So Wave 1B. Wave 1A will probably never show up again.
Mm.
And so on the packaging, it says 1B. So if you bought the brandy from Wave 1B, expecting to be able to pass it off as a 1A, you won't be able to because they put a B on it. I mean, I'd take a brandy figure no matter what, just to say I had it, but it is what it is. If I get one, I get one. If I don't, oh well. They put out so many fucking weird exclusives through Ringside, which, you know, I could gripe about that for hours. But I don't even need to collect them all because I'm not buying every fucking like exclusive Ringside puts out and overcharges for.
Fair.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's part of the reason why I kind of don't really collect figures anymore. Pop figures ruined everything for me. Like, it just got stupid out of hand, so now I just like, I'm gonna hard pass.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was deep into that nonsense.
You were balls deep in that stuff.
I mean, I did sell out and made more than what I spent in the whole. I made like, you know, I had like 180 figures. You just average about $10-15 a pop. I sold all. I've still got about 20 in my possession that I won't sell, but I made about $3+ grand. So
that's not bad.
Oh.
Let's see. So
I think I still have my Bret Hart. That's one I kept too.
I've got my Bret Hart as well. So with that, we've been talking about, we segued pretty nicely into AEW naturally. So let's continue it on. So, you know, as of right now, I think Dynamite probably just ended or is getting ready to wrap up. As we're recording, we can't really be watching that. I mean, you probably could, but I can't.
Yeah, I usually watch them the next day if I watch it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about a little bit about last week's Dynamite. Mostly, I'm just going to hit some of the standout moments. I'm not going to go over every single little thing. So first, let's just say Hangman came out, had a damn good match against Will Hobbs. Damn good match. Now, Grayson, take a guess as to what you think happened during this match.
Drama occurred with Team Taz.
You are 100% correct.
Yeah, and I haven't even watched it, but whatever. it's obvious. It's obvious.
Yeah. Team Taz, God love them, but they're starting to become, I mean, makes our job easy. They're starting to become insanely predictable.
It's an imitation of itself.
I know, it's like, I know you're a heel faction, but you don't have to run in show after show after show. Stand at ringside, sure, that's fine. Do the more classic managerial thing, but stop doing these fucking stupid run-ins. I mean, that goes for a lot of people in AEW, and that was one of Weatherman's giant gripes too. And like I said, I mean, I'm getting tired of the run-ins as well. It's it's too easy to do. You know what I mean? But how long do you think it's going to be before Brian Cage dips out?
Not very long.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's definitely on the horizon. I don't see it happening until Ricky Starks is clear to compete again. But what I think is going to happen is when Brian Cage dips, he's going to take the FTW title with him and make them work to try and win it back in actual matches.
I can believe that.
And legitimize the belt.
Let's hope so. I would like that belt to be legitimate. It's literally just story fodder. It's not even story fodder. It's just a prop at this point.
Yeah, it's a WWE belt right now.
Yeah.
There's no prestige to it because it never gets defended. It's just there to say it's something special. But I'd say if Brian splits, he's going to take that belt with him, and that's going to work a nice drama angle to really get things going. Next, let's see. Biggest standout thing. We had a really good, one of the best promos Miro's ever put out, where he pretty much calls himself God's champion. I'm liking this work angle they're doing with Miro, where he's just so fucking full of himself, but he's playing pretend humble to God. It's great. I like it, especially when he was like, "I want to thank God for making me strong and my hot wife flexible." That's how.
Oh, get it, Lana.
I'm just like, damn, Miro. But yeah, he cut a nice promo against Brian Pillman, saying he was going to pretty much whip his ass. And then, Pillman came back later on with a promo going right back to Miro, saying he's worked for everything he's done, et cetera, and so on. Classic promo shit. But Miro and the ego that he's got is really, really working well. I'm liking it. Worst little promo thing, and I thought this as soon as I saw it, and then it was pretty much corroborated with every other article I read about it. Andrade came out to interrupt a little bit during a match, right before the match started, and cut a promo about teasing a reveal before he was interrupted by one of the performers in the match. And it was pretty fucking weak. It could have been so good, but they just missed the mark on that, is all I can say. They missed the mark on it. Britt Baker, of course, killing it with promos, laughing at Vicky Guerrero for challenging her and Rebel to a tag match against Vicky and Nyla, which happened, tonight. And small spoiler, as I've been keeping up with things while we've been recording, there's a chance Rebel was injured during this match because the pictures showed people helping her out of the ring.
Think it's legit, or do you think it's kayfabe?
The way the picture looked, it seemed legit, but I'll have to watch the show to know for sure.
Yeah.
So, I haven't watched it yet, but there's that. But let's just say that Britt Baker, again, killing it on promos. The Bucks cut a classic Bucks promo, full of themselves. Brandon Cutler trying to interject every so often, and them telling him to shut up and stay in the background. They're playing up their heel angles, cheesy heel angles, real well, I think.
I love their hilarious facial hair. Just saying.
Surprisingly enough, it works for them. It really does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It works for them very well. All right, Ethan Page had a singles match against Bear Bronson.
And Ethan Page won that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Ethan Page won, and at the end of the match, he challenged Darby Allin to a coffin match at Road Rage on July 7th.
Sick.
It makes sense. It works with the branding of Darby Allin and its coffin drop to be challenged to a coffin match. Now, my thoughts on this. Has Ethan Page been built enough to where if he takes an L in this match, will it hurt his steam at all?
He won't lose.
He won't lose?
I don't think he'll lose.
Okay.
I think it'll be a nefarious win.
All right. Because I was thinking he needs to have the win on this.
Darby's had his time already. So
Yeah.
it's time for Ethan Page, and him and Scorpio Sky have been on a tear.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. What I was going to say is, Darby's stock is so high at AEW right now. Like, his position right now.
The dude could take a shit on a title belt and be fine.
Yeah, I mean, what it is his position now is to put over other people that need that rub, need the build.
Mhm.
Ethan Page, I mean, he's really, really good. He doesn't need too much of that, but he does need some, like, high-profile wins. And
Mhm.
the Darby high-profile win, pretty choice. So, that's one thing, especially after their weird, tag match. Not the handicap one, but the one with Sting in it.
Yeah.
This will be a good one. I think it'll work out real, real well. But yeah, I think personally, I believe the best route is to give Ethan Page the win, make it a little shicey, not too much, because you don't want him to get pigeonholed and doing nothing but shicey finishes. But also make it to where it doesn't, even though it wouldn't by much, hurt Darby's stocking.
Mm-hmm.
It just adds to the feud, because this is a feud that could run for a while. And if it does, I think they'll be better for it. There were a lot, well, let's say this. The Pinnacle did a bunch of shit in the show. First, we have the classic cut to Alex Marvez. Everyone's favorite food interviewer. He catches up with Sammy Guevara coming into the arena. They're talking. He asks Sammy about some shit about MJF, and he's about to start talking, and then they come up to where you can see the in between the trailers, and Sean Spears was there in the blind spot. Spears comes out, cracks him with the chair. Okay, we see Sammy rolling around on the ground. Spears talks some shit to him, and then walks off, menacingly dragging the chair. Spears doing Spears. Cool. Later on, we get Tully Blanchard in the ring for an interview with Tony. You know, Tully's talking some mad shit. They bring Conan down because Tully's griping about Conan interfering during the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah.
And so Conan is basically the representative for Proud and Powerful. And he's talking them up, saying that the two country boys in FTR don't know shit about coming up hard. And he pretty much says, look, I know Tully's reputation, so I've already, made plans to take care of things. And he calls out his boys. And so you see some people with hoods up, the bandanas on, walk out from the back, thinking it's Santana and Ortiz. In actuality, it's FTR. They've already taken out Santana and Ortiz. They come in, they beat the shit out of Conan. Then you've got, if I remember correctly, I believe that's when Jericho and MJF in the ring, let's put it this way. There's a whole bunch of hockey fight shit going on. Jericho comes out, MJF comes out, Wardlow's out. Everybody's fucking doing everything. Let's put it that way. We're going to have to cut the shit. I'm not going to worry about getting the play-by-play exactly right this time because there's so much goddamn shit. Let's just say that the Pinnacle came out on top, but the Inner Circle still looked tough. And they kind of outshone the Pinnacle again, even by losing, which is not the best thing in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Falcon, just as an aside there, hopefully you can make that work your magic on that spot, because that was a weird spot, me trying to refer to some badly written notes. So, apologies there. All right. Okay, that right there. Other than the last thing to talk about, AEW from last week's Dynamite, is the last match. Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. Now, I've had to read recaps of this because, again, the fact that Dynamite was on Saturday, it always takes me a few days to watch it, and then being on vacation, it makes it even harder because I'm doing stuff all the time, and I managed to get almost all the show watched with the exception of the Statlander and Bunny match, which Statlander won, and the Kenny and Jungle Boy match. But reading up on the Kenny and Jungle Boy match, which we all knew Kenny was going to win, it was damn good. Jungle Boy looked good. Jungle Boy got Kenny tied up in the snare trap a couple times. Kenny hit Jungle Boy with like 5 fucking beat triggers throughout the match, which is a shitload. But it all came down to, boom, the one-winged angel putting Jungle Boy on his back and him getting the pin. But the biggest takeaway for this match, in my opinion, is that Kenny got a clean win with no outside interference helping him win. I mean, Kenny played it a little dirty. He eye-gouged Jungle Boy in like the sneakiest way possible. No one could tell he did it, but everyone's speculating that's what he did to get the one-winged angel on him. But at the beginning of the match, Jungle Boy came out with Jurassic Express. Kenny came out with the Good Brothers. Marco Stunt was causing a lot of ruckus and going way too hard, so the ref ejected everyone from ringside. And of course, knowing the Elite, the Good Brothers came back out later to try and interfere, but were stopped before anything could happen by Jurassic Express and Frankie Kazarian. That kept this match one-on-one tight up. And it's been a while since Kenny's had just a straight, flat one-on-one match. So I was happy to hear that, and I look forward to watching it. So I'm gonna have to, take a moment to do that. But while we sit here, a couple things that I heard about tonight's Dynamite. Kenny's basically said he deserves a break because he's beaten all of his major challenges. There's no one left for him to really beat, so he deserves to take a break. And JR called it WWE Dynamite.
Oh, god damn it, JR.
Yep. JR being JR again. Slipping up.
It's alright. Motherfucker has been around the block, and that's who he worked for damn near 20-some-odd years. So I'm willing to give him passes in that regard, but, bro.
That's a big one. The times he's done it, he's called it WWE Dynamite, this one. And before that, he called the AEW title, or he called Kenny the WWE Heavyweight title, or title holder, Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
So, those pretty big oopsies.
Yep.
And for me, more than anything, I really, really think JR needs to be a special events commentator and not an every week commentator.
I can agree just because he keeps making those little baby mistakes.
Yeah, I think he's better suited to be Big Show, like, chiming in, as opposed to week in, week out, having to stay on top of it type of commentary. I just think it'll be better suited for him in the long run. So, circling back to Jungle Boy, talk about a lucky fellow, eh?
Mm-hmm. And fucking tossing up that picture, bro, making all the neckbeards jelly.
No shit.
Hell, I mean, I'm not lying. I'm a little jelly.
A little bit.
And get it, bro.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't already know, Jungle Boy and Anna Jay have made their relationship pretty much
Public.
Public. It is now Facebook official, I guess you could say. To use the old terminology. But they're officially an item. Apparently they've been seeing each other for a little bit, and now they've made it official. So hopefully we get to see Anna Jade come back pretty soon. I wonder how their off-screen romance will affect some of the on-screen dynamics between the Dark Order and Jurassic Express. Hopefully not. But
It probably won't.
Yeah, it probably won't, but you never know. Shit. Either way, kudos, Jungle Boy. Those magnificent locks have done it for you yet again.
So, dude, those locks and mutton chops.
Mm-hmm. Chopping and locking. Woo! But, also, let's go ahead and talk about the Dark Order a little more. Colt Cabana recently, in an interview, came out and revealed the storyline that was going to happen should the untimely passing of Brody Lee not have transpired. John called that shit many moons ago when we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it many times and how it was a high likelihood. We were on the money. So what was going to happen, if you haven't read the article already, Colt was under, well, to recap, Colt was under Brody's wing. Brody was getting Colt wins because, as we all know, Cabana, after his short little undefeated streak, was having a hard time getting any victories. And so Brody Lee, as the exalted one, took him under his wing and was using Dark Order powers to get Colt sneaky victories. And after a little while, they started to rub him the wrong way because they do something shiesty and leave a dude flat on his ass in the ring, and then they tag Colt in and tell him to go get the pin. So Colt would technically get the W, but it'd be a shitty one. Or they do some sort of interference where Colt would get the victory again. And Colt, being a historically face performer, you could see it start to rub him the wrong way in all his facial expressions and how he did things, etc. And this was back during heel Dark Order. So the storyline was going to go that eventually it would circle all the way back around. Colt's character was going to get fed up with it and begin feuding with Brody Lee. So we all here saw it coming.
Yep.
And it would have been great, I think. I think that would have been a marvelous storyline. Do I like that Colt Cabana's still with the Dark Order now? Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah. He does have that little touch of comedy to it that works very well.
Yeah, since they're doing a lot of fun shit, it makes sense. But that was revealed, and it makes us feel good that we were correct, and we saw kind of how things were going to go. Next, Trent Beretta just had a successful surgery on his shoulder, I believe it was.
I thought it was neck fusion.
Oh, no, you're right. He had the picture, I was trying to go from memory. The picture had, he had one of those little diode things on his arm.
Yeah.
So it made everything shoulder, but yeah, he had a successful neck fusion surgery. So, pretty soon, Beretta going to be right back at it. Hard stuff, leaving with the torn pectoral muscles, coming back, and then next thing you know, you got to get a neck fusion surgery. I'm ready to see some classical best friends doing their thing now. Red, how about you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll be a little while, but
Yeah.
I would like to see sort of just Chuck and Trent doing their thing again. I still feel like they should have a run with the tag belts at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised. Honestly, I'm sitting here and I'm still surprised that Luchasaurus hasn't gotten anywhere.
No shit, man.
When it started, they were heavy on some Luchasaurus, and then I think that leg injury, whereas Marco and Jungle Boy had to do it, and they just haven't really done anything since then.
Yeah. Truly, they haven't, but that's just, as of right now, Jungle Boys had such a huge singles push, they haven't done a lot of Jurassic Express tag matches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they need to balance it out, where there's plenty of singles work for Jungle Boy, but also they're still balancing out the tag action.
Yeah.
My thoughts. But, yeah, I totally agree. Totally. If anyone were to take the tag belts from the Bucks, besides Death Triangle proper, I would think that the best option right now would be Jurassic Express.
I do too. It's because there's that little bit of a rivalry there with the Elite and Jungle Boy.
Plus, I think as a balanced team, they kind of take it tit for tat. Because, one, Luchasaurus is the big man. Jungle Boy's small, but Jungle Boy's not that much smaller than the Bucks overall. And he works like they do. And
he's small, but not fragile.
Exactly. And Luchasaurus works well, too. I mean, that sells it really short right there. It's just, Luchasaurus is... fuck. You've seen him wrestle, you know exactly what we're talking about. It's fucking Luchasaurus. He's a big man that works like a small man. He's like a Brian Cage, but not as swole.
Yes.
The only part that I want him to get rid of still, get Marco Stunt the fuck out of there. He does nothing.
See, I'm still in the cool with Marco Stunt wheelhouse. I don't have a problem with him at all.
I mean, he's a glorified hype man, really. But I wish he didn't come out with them every time. It seems pointless in my opinion. He's like the crappy manager that doesn't be there. When he comes out with the tag team. I'm not a fan. I don't think I ever will be, but that's just my thought. Let's, one last thing while I'm thinking about it. And it also ties back to something you were talking about earlier. At the end of Dynamite last week, Eddie Kingston also, took the mic after the show went off the air and apparently cut a nice little shoot promo against WWE, talking some mad shit. I'm not going to quote it all because I don't have the article pulled up right now. But it was enough to say that he thinks he's in the more legit, to paraphrase and kind of put my own spin on it a little bit. He thinks he's in the more legitimate, what's the word I'm looking for?
Organization.
Yeah, that's it. Brain fart. But he thinks he's in a more legitimate organization, and he thinks the product's better and the performers are better, etc., etc.
I will agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I do too. And to go back where you were talking about Bully Ray being a scary asshole, just like today, maybe yesterday, Bully Ray shot back telling Eddie Kingston basically to shut the fuck up and, stay in his lane. And it's just like, why?
Yeah, what's the point?
He doesn't work for them anymore.
Yep.
Why does it matter? Let Eddie talk shit about him, because honestly, WWE needs a fire lit under their ass so they can get their quality up. I'm not going to say AEW's putting out fucking, Oscar caliber wrestling. But no, that doesn't even exist. But they need some shit done drastically to get good. To co-opt the phrases from the Dark Souls people, WWE needs to get good.
Get good, boo.
Get good. AEW needs to get good too, but they don't have to get as hard as WWE does.
Yeah, I said it earlier. They literally just got rid of someone who has no effort involved in actually learning the business being a writer. At least she's they're gone now, but still, it just proves a point.
Yep. It just proves it. WWE's not doing the best shit in the world.
NXT, I'll say NXT is on point.
Oh, NXT is another thing entirely.
I will never say anything about NXT. I think they're doing shit super well done.
I agree. So, New Japan News. apparently Michael Elgin had gone missing. He had left his cell phone at his home, and his car hadn't been spotted where he lives. Apparently, he has been found.
Yeah, I read that. He was only gone for like 24 hours.
That's still a while in the age of, social media, etc.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. A little weird. So, as of the other day, ELP and Taiji Ishimori have regained the Junior Heavyweight Tag Championships. So, that's a plus. Yes, Rebel did suffer a leg injury tonight.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. So, she'll be back on the crutch. All right, New Japan Resurgence set for August 14th at the LA Coliseum. Oh, damn. Just looking at that, that's pretty fucking stacked. Looking at the picture, you've got Juice and Finlay, Jay White, Moxley, the Good Brothers, Leo Rush, Fred Rosser. Man, that's looking pretty nice. Apparently, masks will be mandatory to those in attendance unless eating or drinking. Tickets go on sale June 30th. Prices ranging from $39 to $300. People performing at the event: John Moxley, Jay White, Tom Lawler, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, Juice Robinson, David Finlay, Shota Umino, Ren Narita, Carl Fredericks, Clark Connors, Alex Coughlin, Hikuleo, Fred Rosser, Leo Rush, Brody King, Chris Dickinson, TJP, and JR Kratos.
Whoa. Who was that? Leo Rush? I thought he retired.
He did, but remember when he said he's going to finish out all of his New Japan dates?
Yeah, I know.
I know. It's like, I just signed
Okay, then. Leo Rush? I thought he was injured.
Yeah, exactly. That's better. I can't commit to my signing to AEW due to this injury, so I'm going to retire. But this injury is not going to stop me from finishing my contracted date for New Japan.
Yeah, they're right.
Makes no sense, but it is what it is. But that right there seems pretty fucking stacked. No match card has been set as of like the 20th, but that could be different right now. Let me look really quick. No, still no match card, but the only match I have seen while looking at stuff that's going to happen is definitely Jay White versus David Finlay. That one was announced, but other than that, everything is TBA. That's about all I've got, man. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else, man.
Well, with that, the shows over the summer, they're always tricky to put together, but we try to do what we can. It's we're a little tricky to get all the time to do wrestling because technically, myself, I'm on extended vacation, so I'm doing it while I'm vacating from work. So we'll still try to bring you the best we can and do it as smooth as we can, but there's going to be some pickup. It's summertime, but I am definitely going to have a little bit more time to watch wrestling coming up soon because the big clump of activities is going to slow down after this week, which is nice. So I'll be able to relax a little bit more, get caught up on some stuff, and bring some better content for somebody. Some better news, recapping. Will be a little smooth. So apologies, but just know it's going to get a little smooth forward. So with that, that's the end of the show. Thanks again for giving us a listen, tuning in. Remember, you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. I mean, just search Post to Post, and you will find us. Sometimes the weird-ass hockey podcast will pop up, or the other Post to Post wrestling podcast that only lasted for like 3 episodes that wasn't us. Yeah. we're pushing near 100 episodes now. Hopefully, everyone will start telling their friends a bit more, which, please, be important. Tell your friends. If you have friends that work in indie wrestling, tell them. Listen to us.
We'll do the 100th episode naked.
I mean, they'd never see it, so yeah, whatever.
I mean, that's the point. It's just a selling point, but now you ruined it. I will now wear a funny hat.
But honestly, for the 100th episode, I really, like this for everyone listening, I'm plan to get, everyone I can that's been associated with the show to either pop on for a minute or at least record something for it.
Yeah.
So that way we can have, all the people that made it possible to get to this point on the show, some way, somehow. It'll be tricky since Wes hates wrestling now, but I think I can do it. Probably not get him on the show, but at least record something.
Yeah. Just have him say keep it going.
Yeah. At least get a good keep going. Or record the intro for us. Give us a 100th episode intro.
There you go. That'd be fun.
That'd be perfect. I'll talk to him if I see him tomorrow. But with that, again, tell your friends. If you know people in the wrestling business, shoot them our way. We want to get more ears on the show. We would love to get more people on here to, interview and talk. So that way it's not just news all the time. We want to get more in-depth coverage of things. And also, if we've got people who are part of the business, then we can easily get better speculation, which we like to do. We do enjoy speculating what's going to happen, where things are coming from, and a lot of times, if you have a good guest, it makes speculation that much better. That's why all the Chapel episodes are really good, etc., etc. So, if you got any friends that want to be on here, let them know. Hit us up. We'll try and, grease some wheels, etc. Moving forward, hopefully we can get some stuff going in the future. But until then, find us, listen to us, give us a follow. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Hopefully we can get these things rolling a bit more than we do, just to make it a bit more entertaining for you. But other than that, just give it a listen every week. We're here. And with that, that's the episode. Besides, before I slip up and forget, the thanks to the gods that are Antipolar and their editing wizardry.
There you go. Man is a gentleman and a scholar.
Yes, scholar and a saint.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking put up with us in his home, or at least Keys' home. Or,
yes.
They put up with us all the time, so definitely saints.
Big thanks to them. Thanks to them for being the location hosts for Gamageddon Redo Part 1. But, with that, it's the end. We're done. I was secretly waiting for you to just try and pop Chapel with a Salacious Savage. But, there it is. Salacious Savage.
My brothers to the top.
The Carolina Bad Boy Kryptonite. Good stuff. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. We won't be on next week before that slips my mind. I'll be completely out in the cut, so no signal at all. So next week we'll be taking the week off, but we'll be right back the week after that with more wrestling goodness. So enjoy the week of following the 4th.
Later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.